As always, Ted kicks off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Man, I had to go with Kade Anderson and LSU getting the game one win in the College World Series. What a performance. 1-0 victory for LSU. They got a run in the first, and that was enough because Kade Anderson threw a complete game shutout, uh, scattered just 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, just an incredible performance. And I read like kind of the breakdown of his the amount of strikes he threw, what he did with his curveball and all that stuff, and it just an incredible performance. Um, I mean, credit Coastal Carolina though. When you get a performance like that from a pitcher and you lose 1-0, I they're still right there. The feeling kind of all along has been that LSU's pitching is just so incredibly deep that it's going to be hard for Coastal Carolina. But I mean, even though they lost the game, they have to have it carry at least some confidence into the second game, knowing that they're right there. So that was a lot of fun, though. See a performance like that, impressive.
I I do want to send my condolences to Arkansas fans.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh,
That was I was like uncomfortable
I
watching it.
know.
Now, congratulations to LSU, and I think they're going to win the national title. But watching like the way that LSU got to the championship series came at the expense of Arkansas, and just how many times is that going to happen to Arkansas and Omaha? Oh my gosh, dude.
I typically, when something like that happens, to like a conference foe, I don't know. There's no love lost between Arkansas and Oklahoma for whatever reason, and we don't cross over a whole lot. But typically, I would laugh at that situation, and that was painful to watch, painful, and because they were right there. It's right there. It's over. Just finish the thing off, and it just fell apart. And that's one of the most brutal things. And those players after the game, I mean, it's one thing to lose a game, right? But it's another to lose it in that fashion. And gosh, that was a very difficult watch.
Brutal. But congratulations to LSU. Sounds
Yep.
like it's really hot in Omaha.
I don't know if it's because it's been like
It's
it's
got
been
to be all the rain, right?
cool and rainy, and we're just not maybe as used to the heat, but the humidity has been crazy. It it's felt miserable outside the last couple of days, and I know it's even worse in some other areas. So yeah, brutal out there.
It has reached the point in the summer where I am I, if I go outside and play with my kids, I'm going to sweat. So I like normally I'll work out in the morning, I'll take a shower, go about the rest of my day. If if I do anything strenuous, maybe I'm showering before I get in bed, right?
Yep,
It is strictly shower before you get in bed time of the year
yep.
because showering during the day is just an absolute waste of time because I'm just going to get disgusting.
Well, and I'm a hot shower guy,
Oh yeah.
and really, once you take the hot shower, if you do it in the morning, it's perma sweat the rest of the day.
The
You
the
never
faucet the faucet's never getting turned off.
never get turned off.
Totally understand that.
Walk out into the garage, and it's just the first step into the garage, just instant full body sweat.
We also like my shower. I love cold showers, like finishing a shower cold.
Yeah.
My shower at our house like, doesn't get cold enough.
Yeah.
Like I think maybe that I don't know how you
You got
change the tip.
a you got a single faucet, right?
It's a
Or
sink. Yeah, it's a so it's not a two knob situation.
I'll tell you though, recent game changer for me, my wife's hair dryer
Oh,
has a cold
you're
setting on
you're
it.
way behind, buddy. The
Oh my.
Dyson with the little cold button. Been
Yeah.
doing that post shower for years, my friend.
Oh
Walk over to my
man.
wife's side. Excuse me. Armpits, back of the neck, undercarriage. Oh yeah, just get it nice and chilled post shower. Yeah, welcome, brother, welcome.
Because I walk out and I'm all mad, and my wife's like, "What's wrong?" It's like, I can't stop sweating. I can't even put my shirt on. It's miserable. And she's like, "You should try this cold on the." And the first time I did, I was like, "One, this is amazing. Two, how long have you had this thing and you didn't tell me about it?"
Well,
But hey,
hey, better late than never, my friend.
better late than never.
Anything else on LSU baseball? That was a heck of a performance from Anderson. I mean, just dealing.
Dealing game two today. I think it's an afternoon game today. I think 1 o'clock, something like that. Be interested to watch that one unfold. I'm hopefully Coastal Carolina wins this and we push it to winner take all game three.
Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
I had to spread it out. I wasn't sure. I'll start with Jon Jones, officially retiring from the UFC. A lot of Jon Jones fans out there. I'm included in that. Regarded by a lot of people as probably pound for pound the best, most dangerous, most well-rounded fighter in UFC history. The dude's just, I mean, if there's an unbeatable fighter, it's pretty much Jon Jones.
16 wins in UFC title fights, the youngest UFC champion of all time, 20 fight unbeaten streak. He was a two division UFC champ, 22 career wins in UFC, which is tied for the fifth most all time, and has never been knocked down in his MMA career.
Crazy. And I've heard some of the stories about him, like, and he's got his past, right?
Yeah, dude, we're not advocating for what he's done out of the octagon, but in the octagon, there's been no one more entertaining to watch.
I heard a story one time, and I'll probably get some of the details wrong, but he showed up at a gym where there's a bunch of like top end professional fighters training, and he came in, clearly had a long night the night before, and proceeded to like beat five guys, professional fighters in a row, like it was nothing, just in training.
Like a
Just
John Wick movie.
yeah, just an incredible guy. He's got all the tools and a very, very dangerous individual for sure. And
So you
then,
got more. Yeah, keep it rolling. What else you got?
well, how big of a red flag is it with these Shedeur Sanders speeding tickets? Because I'm like on the fence. I'm like, eh, is this a big deal? It probably, like, if it weren't for the way that the draft unfolded, it would still be a story, but like it's just perfect fodder for all the people that were really into this story and what kind of guy is he and why'd he drop. I mean, this kind of reinforces anyone that had a take on that.
How you for the how you do anything is how you do everything, people.
Yeah,
The speeding tickets are a big deal.
right.
40 over is that's a lot.
Yeah, once you
Like
clip into triple digits,
101 in 60 is a lot.
yeah,
But
that's a lot.
is it really that big of a deal? Is he just straight lining it, or is he like weaving in and out of traffic? There's some details I'd like to know about the 101 and the 60. Like is he out there acting like he's Jeff Gordon? If he's doing that, then yeah, that's a problem. If he's just left lane hammer down Teddy Lehman style, then I don't know if it's that big of a deal. And ultimately, no one's going to care. The only thing that people are going to care about is how he plays on Sundays. If he plays on Sundays, we'll see.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Just not a good look for him in the current environment, I guess.
I
But
I think that's very fair to say. You after how the draft went for him, and you would hope that he would be just very buttoned up about everything he's doing
right.
right now.
Yep. I agree. And then finally, how do we feel? Is the Stanley Cup going to make it to next year's finals? at the current rate we're going.
Just the Panthers just broke that thing right away. And I do love like the keeper of the cup was like, it's fine. We have people for this. This is not uncommon. Happens all the time. Just like we'll
Yeah.
fix it right away.
Dude, can you imagine the places that trophy has been, especially pre social media days? I that trophy has seen some things, okay? Seen some things.
There is have you seen the ring camera footage?
Yes,
Just was it Bobrovsky, the goalie, I think?
I think so. Just a
Did just
casual stroll over in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's just like the middle of the night, just wants to go show his neighbor the Stanley Cup. What an excellent neighbor move, by the way.
There, I don't know. There's not a lot of times where you get woken up in the middle of the night from a neighbor that this is a good thing and you're happy, but to flip that light on and see the Stanley Cup sitting there is that's a pretty cool one.
Oh no, it was Barkov. It wasn't
Barkov.
Bobovsky, it was
Yeah.
Barkov. So it was Sasha Barkov just strolled over, like, hey man, want to
Look
check
at
out my
this.
Stanley Cup? Pretty sweet, right?
That's so cool.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
they are getting it in. It's fun to watch. That's a
Do you
cool
see
tradition, isn't it?
it? I think it's one of the coolest things in sports. All those
Yeah.
guys get the trophy for a period of time, and that's where I was thinking, like, what would I do? Like, if you had the Stanley Cup, do you get it for a week? Do you get it for a day? 48 hours?
I'm not sure. I mean, there's got to be a little bit of transition time in there, so I don't know exactly what the layout is, but yeah, I don't know. I've seen guys eat cereal out of it. I've seen guys, host parties and everything. I'm not sure what I'd do. It's a that's a good
I'd,
thought. Something
I'd,
fun.
I'd bring it to game 7 tonight. I know that.
That's right. Yeah.
Just use it as a distraction. Pacers are shooting free throws. I'm just waving the Stanley Cup above my head. Hey, hey. It's like,
Use
wait.
have like a drumstick and just ding 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 ding.
And the keeper of the cup is just going, dang it.
Oh my gosh. Don't
We're
worry.
gonna
We can buff that out. We'll
we
be
can we
okay.
can fix it. We can fix it. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, that would be I think someone sit in that is like a Q&A question, like what we would do for the Stanley Cup. We'll save that. I think we're going to do a couple Q&A shows soon, so we'll save that for that. So we
Okay,
can think
good.
on it a little bit.
I like that.
Dude, I like your little hodgepodge of losers of the weekend. That was good.
A
I like
little
that.
this and that. Yeah.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first, three things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise, it's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. For my winner of the weekend, give me the University of Wisconsin. They've had enough. They're filing a lawsuit against Miami,
Mm-hmm.
saying that they committed torturous interference with Xavier Lucas. Now, remember, Lucas signed a 2-year contract with Wisconsin in December. 2-year NIL agreement, whatever you want to call it, right?
Right.
Miami then proceeded to meet with him and offer him a different deal, and Lucas left Wisconsin and enrolled at Miami in January. Wisconsin doesn't like that.
No.
They're not coming after Lucas, but they're coming after Miami. So it got me thinking, Ted, like, what's the best outcome for college football with this whole thing?
I think the best outcome is there you want strong consequences for like if a guy has if a guy has signed a contract with the university, the sport needs it to be binding, right? I mean, I think that to me, I think that's the best thing in college football is those contracts need to be respected by other schools. When a guy signs a contract, it needs to be you flip the switch off on any more pursuit of that guy. And, just like in professional sports, you can't tamper, right? And I think we have to have it's different, but there that standard has to be there in some degree. And hopefully stuff like this helps us get closer to that.
So I agree because the contract is the contract, and clearly it's going to be very important to see what the language in that bad boy is. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
did read multiple places that the contract prohibits an athlete from making any commitments to enroll or play sports at other schools. So I don't know how much clearer it can be than that.
Right.
But I do wonder if Wisconsin does win this, what's the punishment for Miami? Because it's not like Lucas is going to have to go back to Wisconsin. You know what I mean? It's like no, he's got to go back. That's not what a judge is going to do. Is like, does it have something to do with like his earnings? And a portion of that having to go back to Wisconsin, is Miami going to have to pay some type of buyout? Is it going to be like a recruiting punishment situation, like a scholarship punishment situation? I don't know. That's what I find that the most interesting part is, okay, if Wisconsin does win this, what does Miami have to do for Wisconsin?
Right. Yeah. I don't, I really have no idea, but I think there needs to be something for the player and there needs to be something for the school that facilitated it, you know, because if it's just the player, well, you know, schools are going to continue to fire off and well, maybe this school will pursue it. Maybe that one won't. And you just continue to try and see what happens. And if they come after it, well, they take some money back from the kid. We're not in a we're in no worse off situation for it, so we'll just continue to do what we do. But if there's something punitive there for the schools as well, because I think everyone, fans, most of the schools would probably agree that we'd like this stuff to not happen. And in order to get there, there's going to have to be some real consequences, not just for the players, but for the schools that facilitate it.
I do think this could give some players some pause from doing something like Xavier Lucas did.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of put it in the same category, although it's not the exact same, like the Nico Iamaleava situation.
Yeah.
Where the backlash, the consequence makes you go, oh man, do I really want to do that? Do I really do this? It's like in the real world, if you sign a deal, you're held to the deal. So my hope is that, however, I don't know what it looks like, but that Wisconsin wins this.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I just don't know. I don't know if they're going to, because all of these guys, remember, they're not employees. So how do you enforce these deals? I don't know, man.
Yeah. And here's the other thing is like up until recently, even though we had the big NIL payments and some guys making a tremendous amount of money, there was still a little bit of, well, these are just college kids and they're young guys, especially after the Nico deal. That's dead, right? I don't think there's any sympathy left out there at all for the poor young college kids that are, should be able to play where they want. Like that whole song and dance feels like it's dead, gone.
No doubt.
as it should be. Like whether you want it or not, you're now in the professional world, and there's consequences,
Welcome to the real world,
or needs to
fellas.
be consequences.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I think there's going to be a lot of people in college athletics keeping a close eye on what happens with that whole situation.
No doubt.
But good on Wisconsin. Oh, you're stealing our player? We're going to sue you.
Pursue
Nice.
it. Keep
Fun.
doing it, guys. Keep doing it.
Congrats to the lawyers, the true winners in this entire thing.
Oh man, ain't that the truth?
Always be billing, baby. All right, my loser of the weekend. Thought about going with Jalen Moore.
Oh, that was brutal.
Dude, tore his Achilles in a pre-draft workout in San Antonio.
That's horrible.
Absolute nightmare. Feel so bad for him. And this is one thing I don't know is there any type of protection for him and these NBA draft prospects doing all these workouts that these teams put him through?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I know in football there's a lot of guys, it's common to get insurance at some point against some type of career ending or massive career altering injury that you might take within that window, but
Doesn't get more career altering than tearing your Achilles as a basketball player.
it's pretty brutal. And it's really surprising too for a guy that's in such good shape, has really good bounce,
Well,
young. So that's a rare injury for a young guy.
Yeah, Ace Bailey, who everyone views as like a lock as a top 5 pick, is turning down all these workouts. And after I saw what happened to Jalen Moore, and Jalen Moore, he was going to be a second round guy if he got drafted, but so it's not exactly the same as the Ace Bailey situation, but it's one of those where it's like, yeah, maybe it's not worth it to do these workouts, guys.
Yep.
I would love to know, like, is he going to be financially compensated? I don't know. But that is absolutely brutal for Jalen Moore.
Yeah, I hate when I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's brutal. Yeah,
It's bad. It just absolute nightmare.
Yep, that's right.
But my loser of the week, I'm going with Jeanie Buss. Now, on one hand, sold the Lakers for a huge valuation to Mark Walter, $10 billion valuation. That's a big number.
Huge number.
But the reason she's my loser of the weekend, there are reports that she will remain the Lakers governor and continue to run the team. And there's just no way that's happening, right?
Well, if I paid $10 billion for it, I don't think that would be the process I would go through.
And I know that Mark Walter already owns 26% of the team. So he's becoming the majority owner. But still, you don't become the majority of the owner of a team and then let someone else run it, do you?
Well, in all the headlines I've seen, it's like finally the Lakers will be run like a real organization, and I don't know how they did things, and I don't know necessarily that they did it poorly. That seemed to be the thought from a lot of people.
They've always paid players, but their reputation in the NBA is that they, like, you'll hear the term mom and pop shop a lot with them. Because that was the Buss family's like only thing.
Yeah.
So I think that people are thinking that whether it's scouting, analytics, nutrition, like all those support staff roles that are extremely important in the NBA, like they have not had the type of operation in those areas you would expect them to have.
Yeah.
And now Mark Walter is going to bolster all that like he's done for the LA Dodgers in baseball.
Yeah.
We'll see, but I am just, it reminds me of the Mark Cuban situation where he's like, oh, you sold it, but you're still going to be in charge of basketball operations? No way, man. There's no way Jeanie Buss is still going to run the Lakers. You don't become the majority owner to let the person you bought it from run the team. That makes no sense.
It's so weird to me. I don't. I guess maybe they like if you're tired of it and you want to sell, why you the valuation is super high. You get a boatload of money. It's like the two things don't mix. If you still want to be involved, why would you sell it?
Money. I mean, you have Luca, and it's hard to believe that it's. I don't know. You start thinking about Celtics sold, Lakers sold, Cubans sold the Mavericks. Like, are we all missing something?
Well, I mean, it is interesting that uh, has the NBA peaked, I guess would be a thought.
I'm gonna peak tonight. I know that. Let's go.
Right. I don't know if there's some like they can read the tea leaves differently and kind of know that maybe valuations are going to come down. Like I don't know. It's just it's interesting. It's a damn ATM that spits out cash. If it's something that your family has always had and you've always run, it's been a part of what you do. I don't know. It's just it's strange, and like you can never blame people for cashing out whenever they get that much money, but when it starts to happen with a bunch of big franchises and there's always been moving pieces, but you do start to wonder what are they seeing? What do they sense the future is?
Yeah, certainly interesting. I do want to point out Mark Walters' business titles. The man could not sound richer. CEO and chairman of diversified holding company TWG Global,
Mm,
and the CEO of the financial services firm Guggenheim Partners.
that does sound very prestigious.
I I don't know what any of that means, but that man sounds incredibly rich. And he has been widely praised for what he's done with the Dodgers. But the NBA isn't like Major League
Different
Baseball.
framework. Yeah.
And you can't just go out and outspend everyone, especially with the new CBA, with how punitive the apron rules are now. So that I guess where he will enhance the Lakers organization is that support staff stuff. They're
Yeah.
going to pay players. They've always paid players. But maybe him just being having the reputation as an owner he has, maybe that will make it an even more attractive destination for players. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see where the Lakers go from here because for a long time, a lot of people have talked about how the Buss family and them not really having an operating company or anything like that kind of has held the organization back because they haven't had a lot of things behind the scenes that other organizations have. Now that Walter's in the picture, you would assume that that's not going to be the case. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. They probably said, we're the Lakers. I mean, those things are just like add-ons. We survive on the emblem and the logo and all those things that we bring. So you bring all of that. I mean, performance-wise, hopefully it helps, and perhaps players talk, and you know it gets out that it's either a good place to play or a bad place to play, and you know for it's different. Some guys like there's a small handful of guys that are like legacy type of like worried about what the legacy is and winning championships, but a lot of guys are like, I'd want to go play somewhere good as a role player, somewhere where you're taken care of and it's a good environment. So I don't know.
We'll see. I hope I hope it doesn't work the way that a lot of people think it's going to work for the Lakers. I don't
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
don't need the West being any better, okay?
I hope it's a disaster.
Thanks, Ted. Good. That's a great way of putting it.